Hi, I'm Katie and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I read in the month of June. I read a total of 5 books, which is a lot less than I expected and a lot less than I planned for. And a lot of the videos that I put in my June TBR did not actually get read. So that's fun. We love to see that. Anyway, I had an okay reading month based on quality. I read 1 5-star, 2 4-stars, and 2 3-stars. So I would have maybe liked it to have been a little bit better, but there was no real disappointments. So I guess that's okay. The first book that I read in June is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This book is about a teenage trans man who wants to prove to his Latinx community that he is a real brujo around the Day of the Dead, so he can participate in a ceremony on the holiday. And this was a cool exploration of Latinx culture surrounding the Day of the Dead. I also really love the family relationship between the main character, Yadriel, and his cousin. I forgot her name. Is it Maritza? Or Maritza? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. That was awesome to see. I also really love seeing the formation of the relationship between Yadriel and Julian, who is a ghost that he accidentally summons when he means to summon his cousin instead. So it was interesting. I gave it 4 stars. So I know that's a little bit less than what other booktubers seem to be giving this book. It was an overall good read. I thought the plot was very predictable. There's a twist in it that I predicted like pretty early on. So that kind of just made it not a 5-star read for me. But I could see how others would rate it 5 stars. There's nothing wrong, nothing bad about it. But I just feel like it didn't quite live up to the hype that others have been talking about on BookTube. I still recommend it though. It was a nice read, and yeah, I read this with Grace and our friends Julia and Hannah, and we all liked it overall. I think we all gave it somewhere between 4 to 5 stars, so it was a hit between us. I also read Jurassic Park with the Wizardly Duo Discord. That was the buddy read of the month, and I posted a review video of this book and the movie, which I read and watched for the first time. I had never seen Jurassic Park growing up or before reading this book, and then as soon as I finished it, I watched the movie. So I'd highly recommend watching that video, and since I did make that video, I'm not really going to go into the plot of this, and I'm pretty sure most people already know the plot, even though I didn't before June. But yeah, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. I think what made me kind of give it 4 out of 5 is some of the characters were kind of annoying, and it was mostly the characters, honestly. I can't really think of anything else at the moment about why I gave it 4 instead of 5. I felt like sometimes the plot did drag a little bit. I would find myself reading like a few pages and then needing to take a break. Another book I read as an ebook. It's called Bear Boy by Justin Barker. I know I've talked about this a few times in some of my other videos. I received an ARC from NetGalley and the author, and I really enjoyed the book. It's a nonfiction book about a teenager who is told by his dad that he needs to do something over the summer, and he decides that he wants to advocate for animal rights, especially for these 2 bears named Brutus and Ursula, who are living in a less than ideal environment in a zoo, or I think they're in a zoo or a park, I can't remember. So he needs to raise about $200,000 to move these bears to a better enclosure, and it was one of the most inspiring stories that I have ever read. I would highly recommend it to everyone. It's out now. If you're in the mood for a feel-good story, something that is a little bit of a lighter read, not that it like animal rights are light, I just mean like it's not dense in material and it doesn't take so much brain power to read through like an epic fantasy would or something. So if you need something in between big books, I really would recommend this. It's really good. I don't have anything that I could criticize about it at all. So yeah, please read it. I love it. In June, I also read The Silent Patient, and I cannot for the life of me remember who wrote it. I know he has a really long last name, I apologize. But this story follows a psychotherapist who is recently hired by a psychiatric hospital, and he is very fascinated with one of the patients there. He has known her since before he even got hired there. He sets out to treat her, and this is because this woman murdered her husband and then has not spoken a single word since. Hence, silent patient. And he is pretty obsessive over this girl, which makes it both intriguing and creepy at the same time. I mean, it is a thriller, so it's supposed to kind of have that effect. I did overall like it. It's the first audiobook that I've ever listened to, so I'm not sure if that slightly took away from my reading experience just because it's not a platform that I'm used to. But I did overall really like it. I was, especially towards the end, I was very into it. However, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars just because there is a twist, and twists like that, when they happen in first person point of view, I get really mad. And I can't really say more without spoiling it, but if something's being hidden from me and the book is written in first person point of view, that just makes me so angry for some reason. Like, I know that's the point of a twist, but if I'm reading this character's thoughts for hundreds and hundreds of pages and this has never been thought of until right now, that just feels unrealistic, and I just don't like that. That's also kind of why I'm not the biggest fan of first person point of view in general, but yeah, I don't know. It's a good twist though. Like, it's not like it's, I don't know. I guess it could be debated to be 3.5 stars, but I decided to round down to 3. But yeah, if you haven't read it, it is a nice thriller, and I feel like if you read a print copy, I could see why you wouldn't want to put it down. I have a friend who read a physical copy, and she said it's one of her favorite books that she's read this year. So I could see why, but that twist just didn't fully sit well with me. So yeah. Another audiobook that I read in June is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book follows a rock band in the 70s. It follows them through the ups and downs. There's a lot of conflict and stuff, sort of like Fleetwood Mac-ish. It was very interesting. I really liked hearing the cast because each character has their own actor in the audiobook, which was so cool, and I kind of wish every audiobook was like that. It's also told in an interview format, which I've never read in a book before, so that was really cool. However, this book is so hyped up on BookTube, and I just didn't think it was amazing. It was good, but wasn't amazing. There were times where I was like, why am I still reading this? I am so bored. And I also kind of found Daisy Jones to be one of the most unlikable protagonists that I have ever read, even though I get her. It's difficult for me to explain in words because it's not like she's done really things wrong, but there's just something about some of the actions that she takes that just never sat well with me. And I felt like the author really, in the beginning and sort of the middle too, like it took a while to get over this, but it was so like the I'm not like other girls trope, and this is not YA, so I didn't really appreciate that in an adult book. I don't know. Everyone was like, well, yeah, but Daisy Jones is not like that. She's different. And I'm like, how? That just kind of made me not like her. I don't know. But overall, the story's good. And if you are interested in something like that, I would recommend it. It's just a really good audiobook anyway. Even if that's not your thing, I would still think that anyone would enjoy it. So yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. So yeah, those are all the books that I read this month. Like I said, I wish I read more, but at the same time, I'm not gonna force it. I'm not like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if you've had any similar thoughts or different thoughts about some of the books that I talked about today. And If you do like this video or any other of my videos, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I love getting to talk to you guys in the comments. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!